Welcome back. The Democrats raised the bar this week when it came to entertainment at presidential conventions. They also showed the depth of their political bench. In what was one of the loudest and most diverse nominating conventions ever, Democrats from all 50 states and from the island territories in the Pacific and the Caribbean heard from politicians past and present, musicians, actors, and comedians. The big moment was the acceptance speech of Vice President Kamala Harris on Thursday night.
And to be clear, my entire career, I've only had one client, the people. And so, on behalf of the people, on behalf of every American, regardless of party, race, gender, or the language your grandmother speaks, on behalf of everyone whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth, I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America. Donald Trump is an unserious man. But the consequences of putting Donald Trump back in the White House are extremely serious. President Biden and I are working to end this war such that Israel is secure, the hostages are released, the suffering in Gaza ends, and the Palestinian people can realize their right to dignity, security, freedom, and self-determination.
Judithanne Scourfield Mclauchlan is a delegate to the Democratic National Convention and a political science professor at USF, and she joins us now from Chicago, where she's been at the Democratic National Convention this week. And Judithanne, nice to see you again. Thanks for coming on.
Well, thanks for having me.
So what was the highlight for you of this 4 days in Chicago?
That is a tough question. This is my 8th Democratic National Committee convention, and it's 4 days of several hours of primetime programming each night. And usually there's a crescendo from night one through the grand finale of the presidential nominee's acceptance speech, and energy increasing over those 4 days. And I have to tell you, day one was so incredible. The energy and the speeches, it was electrifying. And I kept thinking, how is it going to elevate from here? That's not possible. But as I was there in the arena, like every day, every speech, someone would come out and it was like, what? I can't believe it. I mean, when Oprah came out, I was like, she was incredible. Or Amanda Gorman's poem, it just gave me chills. When the victims of gun violence came out, when the mother spoke from Uvalde, I was crying. It was incredible. So I feel like all of these presenters gave us more information about what's at stake at this election, about who Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are and their backgrounds and the people that they've served throughout their careers. To be very frank with you, I'm going to go back to C-SPAN and watch many of these speeches again because there was so much happening. It was hard to digest. Like Michelle Obama had so many good points she made. And I was like, I'm going to have to remember that line. I need to watch this again. Obviously, we'll all remember do something from that call to action that she gave and that President Obama gave. I thought President Clinton had a really thoughtful analysis about what was at stake and the economics behind, why Democrats should be elected. So the number of Trump administration officials and Republicans. I was also very captivated by Adam Kinzinger's remarks. There were really so many good speeches, and as you pointed out, speeches from people from all over the country, from municipal races and elected officials, governors, cabinet secretaries, all of our former presidents. It was it was really,
No doubt
it was an incredible 4 days.
the Democrats have a wealth of potential candidates in the future for national office. I want to ask you one last question. That is, outside there were Palestinian human rights protesters. What was your interaction? Did you see them? And how did the delegates inside feel about those protesters?
So the way riding the buses and the way that the route went, I didn't really interact with protesters. There was an issue on Monday night, the first night, where there was a security barricade that was breached and buses were held and we were delayed getting in. I didn't miss any of the prime time speeches, but I did get there later than I would have wanted to get there. But then that was corrected, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we didn't have any issues entering the convention. I think many delegates are sympathetic to the cause and want to see the hostages come home, want to see peace, don't want to see civilians being killed. So, I think there was some sympathy, but I was glad on the inside we were able to hear from the presenters and there wasn't disruption inside the convention hall. But and several of the speakers did address the issues of the cause. But yeah, I didn't have any direct interaction with protesters.
Well, Judithanne Scourfield Mclauchlan, thanks. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for talking to us from Chicago, and have a safe trip back.
Thank you so much.